Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Wednesday. Some good news from Cleanspark. Some good news also from Iris Energy. They provided their numbers for their quarterly reports. So Iris provided their second quarter results, and Cleanspark provided their first quarter results. So we'll take a look at those numbers as well. We'll take a look at the miners first, Bitcoin, and then we'll get into the results and take a look at my data that I have on them for their quarterly results and how close I was to those. And then we'll take a look at what basically their next quarters, which the quarter that we're in right now, will look like. So as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. I'm invested in the following companies. I am invested in Cleanspark and obviously the coins here as well. So let's take a look at the numbers here. Well, actually, let's take a look at the miners here first, and then we'll get into the other details. So here we have the miners. We'll take a look at, let me see here, take this to the miners. So Argo is up 1.87% today to 109. It is still above the 20-day moving average, which is good. Bitfarms was up 3% on the day up to 440, and then it is actually down 2.73% in the after hours to 428 a little bit. Maybe some profit taking on that one. Cleanspark was obviously up 10.9% today, had a nice day to 834. It was up in the after hours to almost another 9%, but it came down a little bit now. So they're up still another 7.19% to 894 on the day. We'll get into the numbers on them. Core Scientific was down 2.67% on the day to 1059, but it is up 1.89% in the after hours. DigiHost is up to date 0.23% to 430. DMG was up 10.08% to 5601. It is now above the 20-day moving average, which is good. Hive Blockchain was up 6.7% in regular trading. It is above the 20-day moving average as well. It is down 1.35 in the after hours right now. Hot 8 was up 6.39% to 782. It is now battling with the 50-day moving average. We'll see if that can sustain it. But it is down 2.81% in the after hours to 760. Iris Energy was down today 0.56% to 1428. Obviously, Iris has only been around since November, so we don't have a lot of data on them for the daily moving averages on the pricing. So they are above the 50-day moving average right now, and we'll see if they can sustain it as well. Not a huge, not much action going on in after hours for them after they reported their earnings. Marathon was up 10.10% today to 28.99, and they are down 1.45% in the after hours, and they are also above the 20-day moving average. And then Mawson is down today 7.93% to 534, and it's up just a little bit on the after hours, 1.12% to 540. They still have not provided their operations report for January, so I'm waiting on that to come out. And then I think I'll have all the miners already reported, and then we can do a miner versus miner comparison once that is done. And we got Riot up 7.44% to 1965 during the day, and they are above the 20-day moving average as well, but they are down 1.78% in the after hours, so a little profit taking there as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin here really quick. So Bitcoin is having a pretty nice run so far this week. We're basically up 3 days in a row, nice green candles. We are battling with our support or our resistance here at 44,750 roughly. We are at right now 44,234. RSI is looking kind of good. It's leveling off. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, we can see RSI coming down. So the last time we were here was right around here, which is obviously we're down here on the chart. So we are obviously going up in the uptrend. So that's good. So RSI staying flat pretty much for the most part, and we are going in the positive direction on the chart and price appreciation. So that's good. If we take a look at Ethereum here really quick, Ethereum is also up nicely. It has come down a little bit in the last couple hours. But if we look at the RSI chart here, last time we were around here, that was right around this price. So 3,156, and we are now at 3,227. So obviously we're going in the positive direction. We're going up on price while the RSI is leveling off a little bit. So that's a good sign as well. So I think we got more room to run with both of these. We'll see how it obviously plays out. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin network hash rate, see how this has changed in the last 24 hours or so. And we can see that we are kind of leveling off here a little bit from some previous spikes that we've had here around the 197, 200, basically around the 200 million mark. And we know as more miners get installed, that is going to increase as well. If you look at the raw values, we can see that is happening here. And we have been having miners shut down because of the cold weather down in Texas. So that is obviously affecting it as well. So it is what it is. But at least the price appreciation is continuing to go up in Bitcoin, which is good. Let's take a look at the miner revenue on the charts, and it is starting to go back up a little bit. So we are at roughly 39.5 million per day to like 43 million per day. So that's good. We're having the price obviously go up, and Bitcoin reflected in miner revenue here. All right, so let's take a look at Cleanspark first, and then we'll get into Iris Energy. So Cleanspark reports record first quarter 2022 financial results. So this is for their October, November, and December quarter. So here's the highlighted points that I wanted to talk about. Also, excuse me, I did listen in on their conference call. So here's the takeaways from their conference call. We'll go over this really quick, and then we'll get into the numbers here as well. So here's my little cheat sheet. So their vision is to be in the top 5 miners for Bitcoin. They also are basically 90% of their revenues from Bitcoin right now, which we know that is the case. And they are looking to do something else with their other side business that they have for their infrastructure, the electrical components. I think that's what they're doing. Let me see here. They did talk about the expenditures, obviously stock-based compensation. They said that they're going to keep an eye on it. Obviously, they want to attract the right talent, so they're going to offer stock-based compensation. They have zero long-term debt, which is great to hear. They are also moving highly into the immersion cooling towards the end of the quarter. So that's interesting as well. So that's giving me a lot of hope. And they're heavily investing in immersion cooling as well. Near-term power needs. Somebody asked this question on the conference call. They're looking to possibly do co-location and then obviously build out. And it might be a mix of the two going forward, just so that they can obviously grow their hash rate and stuff like that. All right. So back to this here. So December 16th marked their 1-year anniversary of sustainable Bitcoin mining. And since then, we have brought the company to record revenues and profit, said Zach Bradford, Cleanspark's chief executive officer. As of the date of this release, we have 20,900 machines operating with a total hash rate exceeding 2.1 exahash and producing approximately 10 Bitcoin per day. So that's great. They've obviously done a fantastic job growing this year from where they started, obviously, the last year in December. Given our success with Bitcoin mining, Bradford continued, Cleanspark is considering strategic alternatives for our legacy energy business. Focusing our efforts on our Bitcoin mining segment allows the company to capitalize on the tremendous opportunity Bitcoin presents. And I would agree. Obviously, their other business was slow growing, not great margins. So here are their Q1 financial highlights. The company increased its quarterly revenues to $41.2 million. An increase of 38.9 million or 17x from 2.3 million from the same period prior year. Net income for the 3 months ended December 31, 2021 was 14.5 million or 0.35 cents basic income per share compared to a loss of 7.2 million or a loss of 32 cents per share at the same period last year. Adjusted EBITDA improved significantly to 24.1 million compared to adjusted EBITDA of negative 2.7 million from the same prior year as well. So congrats to them. Good quarter on that. Assets, so total current assets is 58.7 million. Cash, 5.2 million. Digital currencies is 30.2 million. So they are hodling a little bit of Bitcoin. Total mining assets, including prepaid deposits and deployed miners, is 286 million. So quite a bit of those. Total assets is 418 million. In total. So we'll take a look at how that actually plays out in the numbers when we look at what the current market cap value is. So they are 418 million right now total. Okay, total assets. So we'll take a look at that. Current liabilities, they have 22.5 million. Their current liabilities, total liabilities is 24.1 million. Stockholder equity is 394.1 million. The company had working capital of 36.2 million, so that's good. And then all the way down the bottom, we actually get to see the numbers here. So here we go. Cash and cash equivalents, including restricted cash, is 5.2 million compared to 18 million from the prior quarter. They obviously paid on some miners, I'm guessing here. Digital currency was 30 million compared to 23 million. So nice increase, obviously, in that. Total current assets is 58 compared to 57, so a little bit of an increase there. But their overall property and equipment is net 198 million compared to 137, so obviously a nice increase in that as well. Let's see, accounts payable, total liabilities, 24 million here. And then let's take a look at the revenue. So digital currency mining revenue was 36.9 million roughly, and payroll expenses was 8.8 million, so a little high still, but I can't speak. This obviously also includes, I believe, there's stock-based compensation in that as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? Net income was 14.4 million compared to a loss. This was loss December 31, 2020, so that's where we are. So that year prior we had a loss. And then income loss per common share basic was 35 gain, and prior year was 32. Let's see if there's anything else here that I wanted to show you. I think that is it. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them where I was off on. I was a little bit off higher than I wanted to, but I know why, and I think it's rectified going forward. So let's take a look at the numbers here. So if we look at Cleanspark, here's where I had them at. I had them at 32.13 million for the quarter, and they came in at 36.9. That was a 15% difference. And the reason for that is mainly if we look at the Bitcoin chart here, I figured it out. That's not it. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Okay. So if we look at the Bitcoin chart for the quarter on the daily chart, the quarter started here in October. The price of Bitcoin at that point was 48,000 roughly. At the peak, we were at 69,000. And to end the year, we were at, let's see here. We were at right there, December 31st. We finished out the year at 46,211. So when we look at the settings here, I had 46,000 for the quarter, which I should have done is what I'm doing now, which is going month by month and recording the actual end of month Bitcoin price, which I'm doing here as well. So we got January at 38,491. February, we're actually in it right now, so that's being updated as we view these videos. So that's 44,250. We'll see where this one ends up for February. But we'll have obviously more accurate numbers going forward because the price can obviously swing so much. And this will account for those swings a lot better than going just by the quarter number or the ending quarter number for Bitcoin. So that will get a lot more improved, I think. But we'll obviously see. My goal is to be within 1% of what they report on their Bitcoin mining. I'll be happy, obviously, if I get to 2.5% to 1% up or down on the price of their revenue, and I'll be happy with that. So just so you guys know going forward, that it will be more accurate. So based on the information that we do have right now on them, they are looking, the last 3 quarters is 70 million roughly, 69.6 million. And then if we're combining, looking at the current quarter that we're in here, so January, February, March, we're looking at 37.8 million. If things stay the same, Bitcoin stays the same, hash rate stays the same, number of miners stays the same, that's what we're looking at. So that's this quarter here. And we would be at total combined of 107 million right now. So 50% net income from gross revenue. We're looking at possibly a stock price 20 multiple here, 25.93. And then if we're looking at 75% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at 38.90 for the stock price. So currently it is at 8.34. Obviously it's a little bit higher in the after hours, but it is way undervalued still in my opinion, based on this information that we have here. I would probably bet that they should be more closer between these two numbers here, somewhere around 20, 28, maybe $30 per share, something like that. As long as they do everything right, keep growing the way they are growing, keep expenses as low as they can, and obviously don't take on too much debt if they don't have to. But otherwise, yeah, I have nothing to complain on it. Great quarter by them. I think they did a fantastic job with it. Obviously, it's a lot of improvement. They've also grown a lot. So in the past year, they've grown basically 2 exahash, which is an outstanding feat to get done in just under a year, or in a year. So congrats to them. No complaints there. Let's take a look at now Iris Energy. And then let me know, obviously, what you guys think in the comments down below of their quarter for Cleanspark. I'd be interested to hear if you guys have anything, any qualms, any kind of things that you see maybe as a problem, which I haven't seen yet. So I would love for you guys to tell me that. All right, so here's Iris Energy. Iris Energy reports second quarter record results. So record revenue of 20 million, and this is in USD. This is Australian, 27.6 million for the quarter, 93% versus Q1 2022. I think, is that versus Q1 2022? Okay, I'm not understanding that quite. Well, it is what it is. Okay, record adjusted EBITDA of 14.3 million for the quarter, 156% increase over the prior quarter last year, I guess. And then record adjusted EBITDA margin of 72% for the quarter versus 54 in Q1 forward year 2022. So they obviously have a different way of naming these things. And then record average operating hash rate of 685 petahash. So that's 97% increase. And 364 Bitcoins mined versus, so 51% increase versus Q1 FY22 for the quarter from 100% renewable operations since inception. So they do have a little, what is not an asterisk, but a little, I can't remember what that's called. Boy, it's like a quote or something like that. It's been a while since I've been in school. Let's see, what else do they have here? Okay, some notes here. So Iris Energy is on track to be one of the largest Bitcoin miners with 15 exahash of hardware secured. Right around 10 exahash expected to be operational by early 2023, and 765 megawatts of grid-connected power operating or under construction. So that's great news there. So they are going to be growing quite a bit, obviously, in this year and then into next year. In addition, development work continues across our secured sites in Canada, the US, and Asia Pacific, which are expected to support greater than 1 gigawatt of additional aggregate power capacity capable of powering growth well beyond the company's 15 exahash of secured miners of 530 megawatts right now. So second quarter results, let me see here. Total assets increased to 495 million as of December 31, which is also great. So we'll take a look at that. Let's see here. Corporate highlights, don't really care about that. They didn't provide a lot of information here in their report, but they did provide obviously some good information here. So Bitcoin mining revenue was 20.017 million. Adjusted EBITDA was margin 72%, which is good. And then EBITDA was, what is that, 4,096,000 on that. So overall, good increase from obviously the prior year. So they've grown quite a bit, not as nicely as obviously Cleanspark has grown, but they're growing, but they do have obviously a lot of miners in the pipe for this year and into next year. So they should get to that easily, I would think. Let me see if there was anything else here that I wanted to share with you guys. And there isn't. So let's take a look at the numbers here that we have for them as well. And, also in Cleanspark, they reported 418 million in assets. Market cap is 345. So market cap is below their assets right now. That's what it looks like right now. So that's a little screwy. All right. So Iris Energy, let's see here. So I had them at 19.685 million. They came in at 20.017 million. So I was off by 1.68%. So I did a lot better job on this, but they also came public in November, which gave me only 1 month of data basically where things could change on me. So that's why I think I was a lot more accurate than I was on Cleanspark. So the numbers are going to pretty much stay the same. I'm just going to type the numbers in here, what they made, and then we'll get updated into the other part of my worksheet here. So 20,017. So that'll stay the same. We can delete that now. And if we look at it here, we have the last 3 quarters roughly reported. This is just kind of what they reported. They made like 15.1 million, I think it was, roughly. So I put 4.6 in 1 quarter and then split it up that way. And then 20 million, obviously, in the final quarter that they reported for their Q2. And that gives us the last 3 quarters of 34.9 million roughly. And then if we're combining, looking at this quarter here, depending on how they grow, obviously right now they are at, well, I have them at 805 petahash. They reported, what did they report? I think they reported something less than that, which is surprising. Oh, that's because it's going through December that they're providing here, not through January. Okay, so that makes sense. So I got them at 805, so a little bit of growth obviously here in January. So we're looking at possibly with where Bitcoin is right now. The price, their mining or their operations would be around 14.4 million. So it's obviously less than the 20 million that they got for the quarter in Q2, which is October, November, December. And obviously we had a lot higher price of Bitcoin with 69,000. So that's potentially why. And we are tracking this obviously by month here. So we'll see how this plays out. But basically, we got the last 3 quarters, 34.9, the current quarter of 14.4. If everything stays the same, they don't increase their hash rate. Bitcoin stays where it's at. Hash rate stays where it's at. This is where we would be right now. So I have them at 898 right now and 1347 for 75% and 50% net income using a price to earnings multiple of 20. They are at 1428. I think they are close, but I think they're going to get more miners installed. Looks like they have quite a few more miners that need to get installed here, especially in Q1. We have all of these guys here, and then obviously all of these as well that still need to get installed. So I'm thinking that their hash rate is going to grow a little bit more than that. So right now they are looking to me like they're pretty well valued for the price that they're at. For Iris Energy, they're at 1428, and they have a market cap of 785 million. And that is, I think, mostly because of their future hash rate of about 15 exahash, whereas Cleanspark has a future hash rate right now reported at 4.2, and Iris has a 15.03 reported. So that's why I think they're getting more of investors' love, basically. They're seeing that future growth, and that's what's driving the price up a little bit higher than it is for Cleanspark. But so based on the numbers that we do have, stock price of 428, they're pretty well valued where they are right now based on what they are mining. And we'll just have to see how things play out. Obviously, once the miners get installed, and they should get installed, we will be, I think, higher than what the stock price is, unless the stock price follows it exactly the way it is. So we'll see. So obviously a nice increase for them. Good quarter. They were profitable. They didn't lose money. So as long as they don't dilute shareholder value. I didn't see what they actually had for BTC HODL. I'll have to look into their actual quarterly report on that to see if we can find anything what they actually HODL, if they HODLed anything or not. But it doesn't look like it right now. But obviously, great quarter by Cleanspark. Huge growth in the last year. We want to see that growth continue into 2022. And then, obviously, if they want to be in the top 5 miners for mining Bitcoin, they need to get closer to that 15 exahash or higher mark. Because we do have Marathon's going to be at 23.3. Riot's going to be close to 15 once they do the immersion cooling and everything else. They're going to be pretty close to that as well. And then you got Core Scientific, which is going to be possibly at 30 some odd exahash with their hosting and their own self mining. So if Cleanspark wants to join the big boys, they got to start really, aggressively looking for good deals on miners, getting electricity, and obviously building out as fast as they can if they want to be in the top 5. Iris has obviously got plans for that already, and they're working towards that plan. So they are a little bit more ahead of, I think, Cleanspark. That's why I think the price is a little bit higher where it's at, even though they are having current hash rate is lower. So that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys thought of all of this stuff. Obviously, a great day for the miners for the most part, for Bitcoin, and I think the stock market in general. I think the stock market even reached, is getting close to an all-time high again. But I didn't pay that much attention to it. I just heard something in the background that was listening to CNBC. That's it. Let me know what you guys thought. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helps me out tremendously. My spreadsheets are available to Patreon members if you want access to that. And that's it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.